like the year has now officially started because we're having a membership meeting and so thanks for coming. And, we don't have that long an agenda. But it's an important agenda and hopefully, maybe we'll even get out a little early. Who knows? Because I know you all have other stuff you need to do too.
Did we get an agenda?
Jolie, did you send out the agenda?
Yes, to you.
Just to me. Sorry.
I'm going, guys. I'm going, guys.
Jolie,
Guys,
could you forward it to everyone? And I can read it to you while she forwards it.
So you guys, yep, I sure will. And then if you want, I can, if someone wants me to pull it up on the screen, that's fine too, but I can just forward it quickly.
Okay, because it's a really short agenda and it's so short, I don't actually want it to take up like the screen space. We need to review the 21-22 attendance. We need to review and discuss vacancies and roles, and then we need to discuss drafting a SAC membership legislative recruitment flyer. So Jolie sent me the attendance information, and I took the opportunity to review all of that. And if we need to pull that up, we can as well. Would everyone like a chance to see the attendance from last year and this year? Okay, Jolie, would you mind pulling up last year's list and let everyone take a look? And then we can look at this year so far. What I did was, I know, there are reasons why people can't attend meetings. And I think that, Jolie, you can tell me if this is true or not, but I really think that people do make a good faith effort to let Jolie and Brian and Susan when they can't make a meeting because, we're all busy people. So, what I was looking at when I was really analyzing the attendance was, were people able to attend the meeting this fall and this past May? Because, if they attended, it was also, and I looked at everything last year too, there really weren't too many red flags. I think for me, the red flags actually kind of occurred with some of our professional members who are representing other organizations. So Jolie, while you're pulling that up.
I'm going now.
Okay,
just sent out the agenda, guys.
Oh, okay.
So you should get that in your email right now. Send it to you guys right now.
So I noticed that Charles Sicarella, our Concase representative, didn't attend at all last year and didn't attend the meeting this fall.
Catherine, I'm so sorry. I must have that wrong. He did attend last year. He did attend the first meeting and another. I want to say he might have attended 2 and then hasn't attended since then. So I just want to clarify that, and I'll go back, and that must be an error on my end, okay? And I'm pulling up attendance now.
Right.
But when I got it situated here, then I'll share my screen.
And Catherine, I think I had spoken with Kathy Gabrielson at Back to School, and she told me that Concase was appointing somebody else to the SAC. I can't remember who she said it was. I want to say, was it someone from ACES? From one of the ACES schools? I'm not really sure.
Really?
Okay. I know it was a guy. That's all my memory can remember for sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's good to know. Thank you, Jen.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine, I think I was wrong. I do have Charles attending 4 meetings last year. It's Deborah Grainsky. DOC, US.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to say that's the person. I'm positive on that. Charles was summer retreat, which doesn't count as attendance, and this first meeting. I did not hear from him on this first meeting. Usually I'll have a reason, but Deborah Grainsky, I do hear from often. Sharing.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. Yeah, because I was a little concerned about her as well. But you do hear from her. Okay. So yes. So
her, but her superintendent tends to, it's generally the same thing. Superintendent has her scheduled for another meeting and she can't attend.
Okay, all right. And I was wondering too, if you've heard from Denise Drummond. She's from the Commission of Women and Children.
Not since here. And I don't get, I used to get emails from her, do not anymore, with keeping me posted on attendance.
Okay.
I have a few that will, that never really give me a heads up or not, and I track them, like I'll keep an eye. So okay. That one is usually, which is okay, as long as they're, attending. I just go back and add them, not a problem. Mm-hmm. But the ones that I don't hear from and don't see anything on are the ones that I generally bring up to you. And I noticed that. So Denise Drummond would be 316, 511.
And she didn't come in September.
Nope. And the retreat neither. Yeah. So. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, I'm more than happy to reach out to her, or if Brian wants to reach out to her, we can connect. Because again, it could be that she's very busy. I don't know what her circumstances are. It could be like me, and I don't want to speak for you, Brian, but I think you're in the same boat where perhaps she had a lot of staff who retired and she's had to pick up a lot of pieces. And I don't know, but I know we all have really good intentions, but I or Brian can check in with her if he doesn't mind having me do that. I can do that. Okay. Definitely. All right. Did anyone want to take a closer look at the attendance? Was there anything that stood out?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, you know what? I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I switched off on you.
Yeah.
I'll finish my note after.
And okay. So those were the two that really stood out to me. And I can check in with Brian too about the new con case representative. So that would be great, because we definitely want them represented. And
Catherine, when Mia's not in attendance, she makes sure she always follows up with me to get a link.
Yeah.
She will review after, so she's on it. She will always say, is there a link? But she's in attendance. If she cannot attend the full meeting, she'll always reach out and ask to see the
what are the dates for those last 3 meetings? I was at the 316 one because I have notes on that one.
Yeah, I know. It's like.
And I was at the January one because I have notes on that one.
Yeah, I know. I had seen you, Missy. So
I was not at the 511 one because I had a training that day.
Okay. So did you get both of those down for Missy?
I don't think I got January. Give me a moment. January would be here, right? And then you didn't do 511. Sorry, miss.
That's right.
I'll go back and review, guys. So. That's exactly the time I got pulled into the due process, and I'm hitting due process hard. So sometimes I forget to go back. These are the moments. So what I'll do is I'll redo this and I'll highlight anyone I added and show you, Catherine. Okay? You're welcome. And then we can bring it up. We can re-review it at the next membership just to make sure I got everyone accurately.
Great. And Allison, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, I know I miss a lot of meetings. The meetings are on the same day as our management team meetings. And now, especially in my new role, I cannot not go to the management meetings. Yeah. So it's hit or miss. So if you guys would like, I could see if another supervisor may be able to join if you need someone with more consistent attendance. The problem is usually it's our extended leadership that's meeting on the same day. Yeah. So it's all the supervisors, the regional directors with upper management. So it makes it a little challenging since unfortunately I haven't figured out how to clone myself yet. Then I could retire probably.
You let me know how you do that.
But I just wanted to share, unfortunately, that's why I tend to miss the meetings.
I know, Allison, I know that, your office meeting day unfortunately coincides with all of the SAC meetings. I'm lucky. Our office day is Tuesday, so I kind of have a little bit of a reprieve. And you know where to find me. I can definitely connect with you. So,
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Good.
Allison, do you think I have you? Is yours one that I have to go back to, or do you think this is accurate?
I can check. I know I was
No, you don't have to check. Don't worry about it. I'll do it.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that you didn't say it because like maybe you saw that I didn't have you at all, but I'm gonna go back and actually go from January on. I'm actually gonna check everyone's attendance.
No, I know I frequently miss, so you probably are right. And I know I wasn't able to attend the last one because it was again the same our management meeting. I was able to make it over the summer, so at least that was good. I know it was a small group of us then, but it's just hard to balance both because they're at the same exact time.
Can I just say thank you for responding? Because it literally helps with the quorum. I don't get everyone. To be honest, there's times where I give because now I'm familiar with the members who sometimes don't respond will be there. So I'm hoping they have my back and show up because sometimes I go through when technically we're missing a quorum by one or two. So thank you for responding though, even though
welcome.
sometimes you don't attend, but I always have a response from you.
Right. So thanks, Allison. Yeah. And, really, again, there wasn't anything for me that really stood out regarding the attendance. I think one thing I did notice, Julie, I think that Jake is still listed as a student representative, but he's actually an adult representative. So that is, one thing that we should probably change on the roster. So did anyone have any questions about the attendance of any of the other members last year? No. Oh, okay. Brian, your hand is up.
Yeah, I don't have a question about attendance of anybody in particular because I clearly don't pay attention to that. And if that's a role of me being on a membership committee, then I failed y'all.
No, it's okay.
But I do know with Teams, we're able to download attendance. And I know our meetings are on Zoom. Is there a feature in Zoom to do the same that you can cross-reference, Jolie, to make your life a little easier rather than?
Oh, good point, Brian.
Okay.
So I'm not familiar with if Zoom has that feature, but I do know with Teams, we're able to download attendance of participants on the call. And again, it's going to be fluid. So you might catch it early on, like in the first 10 or 15 minutes, very inconspicuously, or, towards the back end of the meeting, just in case we had a little stragglers coming in just to do a double check. But just a thought. I don't know.
Thanks for mentioning because I didn't know there was that. I never messed around with Teams to know there was that feature, but I do use. So towards the end of the meeting, that's me using the chat list trying to compare to my attendance sheet. So that if there's a way to download, that would be more helpful. So I'll look into that. I'll reach out to Greg. Was that Missy that I heard?
You can,
okay, sorry, Missy.
I can look at, I'm not sure how long they keep the usage dates there. Since we don't have registration, I can't pull up a registration report, but I can pull up a usage report. So that gives me the names of the people who attended the meeting, and it actually tells you how long they attended and stuff like that. But I can pull, as long as I don't know how long they keep them in, but I can go back and look at that because I'm pretty sure he made me a host. But then I change, then once I get on, we change the host to somebody else. So let me look and see if I have access to it.
That would be really great, Missy. Brian, thank you for bringing that up because I know in Teams, at least if you're the one who is organizing the meeting, you do get an attendance report, and I find that helpful. And again, because I don't use Zoom on a regular basis, I wasn't aware of that. So thanks for bringing that up. And Missy, if you can check that, that would be great. Okay.
Can we, moving forward, maybe ask everybody to type their name and role in for attendance in the chat? Mm-hmm. Would that be, because I know a lot of groups do that I'm on.
Oh, nice.
Chat for attendance. That's a good idea. And yeah, And I know typically people are asked to do that as a way to introduce themselves, but maybe if there's an emphasis too that says this is, for our attendance record keeping purposes as well, people will do it. I like that. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Joel,
Okay.
if you're looking, I believe it's under participants, and you'd be able to, as the host in Teams, you'd be able to see an option to download.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I am looking for it. I'm sorry. Where am I?
We can see your screen. That's why I was letting you know you're in the wrong spot.
I'm so
just trying to help you out.
Thank you so much. You know what? I only went off because you guys don't need to be like
it's okay.
The day the actual consultants have to help the support staff. Always.
That's okay.
Thank you so much, guys, though. Teamwork, seriously, because I wasn't aware of that in Teams either. And there's plenty of times I'll take, Brian will send me off to do something, and then he'll ask me who attended.
Yeah.
So that's helpful. Fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So I'm going to move on to the next item on the agenda now, which is a review and discussion of vacancies and roles. So I reviewed our list, and we currently have Joan Nicole Semp's position is, as far as I know, still vacant. So we still have a vacancy in higher education. The last I heard, I think Brian was working on filling that vacancy. Jolie, do you have any updates to report from Brian on that?
I do not.
Okay, that's fine.
I just want to let you know that today, Brian being pulled out, called into another meeting. I was to take questions for Brian.
Okay, so that would be
okay. Yep, yeah, questions, unless we have them answered at the executive and then recap. So we just have to decide how we're gonna get the questions answered. Is it gonna be in a follow-up, and then I'll capture it in the minutes, okay?
Yeah, that would be great. So that's a question about one vacancy. Then good news, potential good news about student vacancies, okay? So we're so fortunate, me as our student representative. Rick Rauchi emailed me a couple days ago. During the last SAC meeting, he sent me a message and said, hey, I think I have a student who might be interested in joining the SAC. So I sent him the application form. And then he emailed me a couple days ago and he said, I think the student is really interested. I'll have an application for you soon. And I said, great. The committee's meeting on Friday, just in case, but so he doesn't have it for me yet. But I just wanted you to know that it sounds like there is a potential second student in the works. So that's super positive. Then
I just want to say that I'm officially legal now. So I got my letter, so I'm actually a member.
Okay. Wow, Missy, so you can vote now?
It's only been 3 years, but what can I say?
We're testing you.
Wow. And Jolie, that would be another follow-up for Brian. Are we missing any other appointment letters?
Yeah.
Oh, so Anna, yours is missing?
Oh, look who it is, Miss Anna.
Still missing.
Okay. So Jolie, if you can ask Brian about the status of the appointment letters, that would be great. And then the other vacancies that we have are all 4 of our General Assembly slots. We did have someone who was a member. We had Representative Tammy Exum, but she withdrew. So we don't have anyone right now. So I guess the good news is the parent slots are full. We're almost at 50% with the student slots. We have very good attendance, but this is our next area of focus. And I know a while ago, Allison started a student recruitment flyer. And Allison, I still have that on file, so I don't want you to think I ever forgot about it. But now the real burning issue is, how do we recruit General Assembly representatives? And so that brings us to the next and final agenda item. You know, I think it would be a good idea if we could put some kind of information recruitment flyer together, a one-page document that can be emailed, sent to people, shared with them, because I think it's so important that we have at least one representative from that group on the SAC. So, of course, I had really good intentions of going through our bylaws and, you know, looking at what would be some good points to include and maybe even put something together today. And unfortunately, I just didn't have the time to do it. But what I did find was a really good template that Jake shared with me over the summer about the Connecticut Secondary Transition Youth Advisory Board. And I thought that's a really nice format. And that could be something that we base our flyer on. Have any of you seen that flyer or have any recollection of seeing the flyer? I actually, hold on, let me see. I think I have it open here. I can, yeah, hold on. I'll share my screen. Share window. Let me see where I have it. Can you see it? Can any of you,
I have that.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, you have it, and I can email this to you, but and again, we don't have to totally copy this. I like having a nice starting point, and I thought, you know, there's no reason for us to reinvent the wheel if there is something out there that we can use as a template. So, you know, I like this because it's you know, it started as, okay, well, what is this organization? What is this purpose? Who are the members? When and where does the organization meet? And how can I get involved? So
they have to update their flyer.
They have to update their flyer.
Oh my.
I'm not going to pick it apart.
We'll do ours and show them an example.
That's right. We'll do ours and say, hey, you can base your
all the middle stuff is good. They just have to update the contact info. That's all.
Right, exactly. So, you know, this is something that we could use as kind of a starting point. And what I would like to see, and you know, Jolie, we could, and let me know what you guys think, but I like having little work groups in teams, you know, at least with the people I work with at BESB, where we can share documents and go in and edit them. And I think it's a lot easier than going through email. So we could just have a working draft in that kind of a forum. But I'm totally open to any ideas you might have. I'll stop sharing for a minute just because I like seeing all of you and not.
Like that idea.
What ideas do you have in terms of if anyone has thought about a recruitment flyer? We don't have to use the youth advisory template as our template. We can go in a different direction. And if anyone has any other ideas on how we can streamline the process to put this together, if there's a different forum other than Teams you'd like to use to share.
That's actually a very good template, Catherine, and using Teams channel would be a great way. You know, we can just put it under files, but who is the owner of this? Jolie, you are, right? So you'd have to just create a channel for us.
Yeah.
Yep. Brian's calendar. It would probably be under. Yeah. Well, whatever. Us, the SDE over here. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
I don't know how to use Teams outside of just attending a meeting, so we'll have to work through that. So that's fine with me.
Okay.
I think the template is fine. It asks some good questions. We would have to make sure that our legal statute piece is in there. But other than that, I think that would be a good starting place anyways.
Okay.
Unless
Right,
the
great.
document was on OneDrive instead of a channel, like
I think if you create like the Word doc in Teams, then you can make it a live shareable document. So you just have to share the link.
Yep.
You could share it through an email with us and we'd be able to work
You're
on
right.
it together.
That's what I meant, the OneDrive. Yep, I could just, it's kind of like in a cloud, and I would give you a, and you guys would always be able to access it, or I would just give you access.
Okay.
So we have different options, like you guys are saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
just
just
gotta-
make sure you give us editing access.
Okay.
I would be able to, as I give access, I'd be able to do that, like,
Okay.
but I would need to just know for sure which route we're going, so, before
Okay.
we do that.
Okay. I mean, if that would work for everyone,
Mhm.
that, I think that would be great. And then I guess, Jolie, maybe if you initiate that template, you know,
Alexa,
we can
stop.
just start putting, you know, draft information in there. And, you know, and we can comment on it, we can make changes to it. And then, you know, we can meet again as a group to talk about whatever we have drafted. And Jolie, make sure that, you know, you include Brian in the group so that he can also review the document. And I think Susan should also be included just so she can see what we're working on as well.
I would think the executive committee completely would have access, yes or no?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Jen, what do you think? I mean, we have most of the people here. Do you think Nachi wants to? I mean, because this is something that would be shared at the executive committee meeting anyway, but it's not a big group. I guess they could all.
It's only a couple more members than you, so
Yeah.
it would be, everyone would have
Yeah.
access except for
Yeah.
Nachi.
Okay. Yeah, then I
So
think
maybe
that's
just
fine.
add him. I mean, he doesn't have to look.
Yeah,
in case
you're
he
right.
wants
It's
to
not
take
like
a
he
look.
has to go into it. So.
He always has something to say. And
Yeah, you
something
know,
good
and he
to
always has
add.
really nice things to say too. So yeah, add him.
Right? He
he'll
can
have
take
some
a
good-
look. What if he
he'll
has
have
a
some good
suggestion at the
ideas,
flyer or
actually.
something?
Yes. Okay. Good. All
Okay.
right. I always hate
access.
giving like people another thing to do, but maybe it'll be okay. All right,
Nachi
good.
likes to take a look.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments about this little project we have?
So while you were talking, I was looking at what you had, and having sat on several DCF regional advisory councils,
Yeah.
one of our targets was messaging.
Okay.
So just a slightly different format if I can find it.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, we'd love to see it.
So obviously there's a different focus with the DCF regional advisory councils because you're looking for families and youth and providers and agencies to be a part of these councils. So it has a different kind of different appearance to it.
Yep.
But it gives a simple definition of what the intents are.
Yeah.
It breaks that RAC. We all abbreviate everything in the world, what it actually means.
Yeah.
What the area it covers. So, I mean, we can look at something, what you shared, or redesign it in a different way, and capture that the legal component into it. So, I mean, a one pager is best.
Yes.
Something that's colorful and bright. It makes it a little attractive,
Yeah.
while also sending the message home as to what the intent is. So I think combining some of these thoughts and ideas might work to our advantage. But I'll be happy to forward this on to Jolie so she can distribute it just as a sample. Just
I like that, Brian. I like that. Like something in between the Youth Advisory Council flyer and then what you have there. I think that would be great. And, you know, I think, you know, once we figure out the content that we want to include, then we can look at the layout and
back right into a design. But just to kind of conceptualize, I think it'd be, you know, if we're looking to promote, then making it eye-catching rather than a page that looks like it's you know, homework.
Right, exactly. And it's got to be fast for them to read because, you know, you might be catching them in the hall when you're like, here, look at this.
Yep.
Right.
And, you know, and if it does have that bright, colorful background, like what you just showed us, that is going to grab their attention more than something that looks like, you know, an essay. So, okay.
I'll be honest, I had nothing to do with the colors on it. I did vote in favor of the ice cream cones.
Okay.
Can I add something to that too,
Food
Catherine?
always attracts people, right? Come on.
Yeah, I would have taken 10 copies.
Right.
Just one thing, whatever design we choose, I just want to make sure that we keep in mind accessibility.
Yes.
So making sure that it's easy for screen readers to read. If we're going to translate it into Spanish or another language, that again, it's accessible and easy to do, and in that kind of way too, considering our purpose.
I agree with you. And in terms of like accessibility with a screen reader, I have someone on staff too who could actually test that for us.
We have someone just waiting to get this document. He's in hide mode here. Mr. Faulkner will not post anything on our website or allow me to do anything that's not accessibility proof. So
Yes, we are
Matt will also
deep in that.
If it's something that eventually is going to go onto our web for people on the SAC page for people to access, Matt will make sure also.
Okay.
So if your person's not available, it's going on our page and he'll make sure we get that done.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. All right, good. Okay. Any other comments, questions, anything you think we didn't think of that we needed to cover? All right, well, I think we got a lot done. So thanks, everyone. And Jolie, we can connect about, you know, setting up that Teams chat. If there's anything we need to clear with Brian first, you know, I want to make sure that all of you are definitely going to have access to the document. And I will also, Jolie, I'll send you the Connecticut Youth Advisory Board flyer. And if you want to send that out to everyone when you send out Brian's flyer too. So, you know, we've got these samples we can look at. Okay. All right. Wow. Well,
that works.
And, well, thanks everyone. Thank you so much. It was really nice to see you again. And I'm looking forward to this project. And I think we'll be able to get it done in a relatively short amount of time. Okay. All right. Well, have a really good weekend and I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Happy Friday.